Again, my show and my forte is the issues that affect us as we age. Right? Aging in place or staying in your community is something that most people want to do. There's no question about that, right? That we want to stay in our communities. So now let's talk about how we can do that. Well, first off, always and foremost, the first question that comes out of anybody's mouth when I'm doing an interview, and the interviews start with objectives and goals. When I'm talking to a client, I talk about, all right, let's talk about the next 10 years. Well, we know what you have in income, we know what you have in assets. Now we have to talk about, where you want to live. And most people say, I would like to stay in the community. I know everybody, my best friends are here, and sometimes you outlive your best friends. That was my father's case. Every single neighbor on my father's street predeceased him.
The way I want it.
Okay? So, you have that issue. Other people sometimes move away, right? But that's a different story. But, you want to stay in the community as long as you can. And then the next question that comes out always, I just don't know if I can afford the taxes, is when all of a sudden their taxes on their house, they may own their house outright, so there's no mortgage. Yeah, there's a $500 a month Con Ed bill, there's a $100 cable bill, there's this and that, right? But the major issue is frequently the taxes. I was at somebody's house, which in my community, right, that blew me away. I said, yeah, I pay a lot in taxes, but I'm certain you pay more. His answer to me was he paid $42,000. That blew me. I'll be honest with you, that blew me away, right? Because I had a rough idea of maybe what the house is worth, so forth and so on. But taxes are the major issue, right? When you think about $42,000, right, that's $3,500 a month.
I figured that number out myself.
Right?
Yeah.
Add another $1,000 for maintenance, Con Ed, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Just to live in our community, right? You're talking about $54,000 of income after taxes right now. The key is the issue. The issue is taxes. And taxes start at a local level. And sometimes you sit back and look at how your money is spent at a local level. Scares you. That if you go to a town board meeting and they start discussing, oh, wait a minute, we have a political appointee that is now which is, and there's two types of towns, again, learning all these things, town basically classified as a 1 classification or a 2 classification, right? 1 classifications, you expect to have a certain number of elected officials, right? And these people are elected, but they're more or less in charge of something. Receiver of taxes, highway superintendent, and everything else. And then it says these people can hire assistants. So basically a lot of times what you're getting is a person that has no idea what they're doing, right, in the position.
Of course.
Because it's a political appointment. And what they immediately have to do then is hire assistants to do the job. What scares me even more is if you foil, right, Freedom of Information law, right, the salaries of some of these political appointments, it will scare you because then you're shaking.
I do
your
this
head.
every morning. Yeah,
I know, but it scares me.
It's a lot of money.
And that accountability, right, has to be brought out in some way, right? It just has to be brought out, and then from that accountability, you really, if you have a background, I'm an accredited investment fiduciary analyst. Anybody that deals with somebody else's money, is a fiduciary.
Right.
The government brought in, the Department of Labor made this. So every one of those town board members and so forth are a fiduciary.
Absolutely.
They should be held responsible for how they spend our tax dollars.